Welcome back to another episode of BD Radio. Ben has finally allowed me to do an introduction and has been laughing at our first 3 takes.
Is that your intro? Oh, that's your intro. Yeah, good. Awesome. So, this week's episode, we're going to chat about something that we've noticed amongst our crew, I guess, over the last week, and noticed within ourselves as well. This is entering the program this week. This is week number 7 of our
Isn't that crazy?
quarantine isolation period.
7 weeks.
Absolutely crazy. I actually thought it was less. Like, I think I said to someone yesterday, I was like, yeah, it's only been a month. Well, no, it's only been 2 months. But week 7 of our online training. And I guess we're just starting to notice that things are starting to slow down. So we were laughing about this the other night is we were watching a current affair, which lets you really know where we're at. We're watching a current affair. But they were talking about the 3 stages of quarantine, and like stage 1, I think they called it like the honeymoon period, where it was like a new challenge, a fresh set of circumstances.
Everyone enjoying time together.
Yeah. You know, I'm at home, I don't have to commute anymore, this and that. I still love my kids, you know, all that sort of stuff. Stage 2 was like the, what was stage 2 again? Whereas, hold on. Stage 2 was the honeymoon period.
Stage 1 was panic.
Stage 1 was panic and fear, which I guess we probably saw with our community and our business maybe a week to 2 weeks before we went into lockdown. I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The fortnight before we had to close, I think we were probably all of us at the height of our our panic and fear stage. Yes, so type 2 was the honeymoon phase, and that's where it's all good, it's all gravy.
Yep.
And then 3 was what they called the third quarter, which where I'm from, that's the premiership quarter, so it was like supposed to be all motivational and whatever, but that's not what they were talking about. They were talking about how everyone's just start to get a little bit flat and miss all the social interaction, and things that were once easy were now getting a little bit hard. And we could definitely relate to that. Is just, I guess, being a lot more moody and up and down, and maybe things that wouldn't have that much of an effect on our psyche and now like swinging me more one way and then the other way. Like, what day was it? It was Sunday. I was so cranky. I was an absolute pest. And then I did like an hour of exercise and I was like, I love everyone. Everything's amazing. And I'm like, well, I've gone full bipolar.
Yeah, Ben is probably the most level-headed person like I know.
Normally.
Like the entire time I've known you, like you're just so level-headed. Yeah, there's no other way to say it. Whereas, like, generally speaking, people's emotions, they fluctuate a little bit. Whereas I've never seen you fluctuate so much as now. Whereas normally I would fluctuate more, but you are fluctuating more than me at the moment.
Well, I've always considered it to be like a little bit of a strength, that the highs aren't too high and the lows aren't too low, and that you're able to kind of stay even keel. Like, I thought that would be a good thing about me. I reckon I can trace that back to cricket, to be honest. But
always sport, guys. Always sport.
Obviously, it's played a big part in me growing up, but like, it's the most humbling sport of all time, and you have to take it as it comes. And I think that's the sort of like mindset that I've brought into other stuff. But at the moment, like, terrible. He yelled at a 14-month-old the other day. She started crying, and I nearly started crying.
He made little baby Mia cry. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, if it makes the listener feel better, I nearly started crying immediately afterwards. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, guys, this isn't about us. This is about you. So we have noticed everyone is just feeling a little bit flat at the moment, and saying they just don't feel as motivated to kind of get through their workouts or get through what they'd usually do, eat the weight they would usually eat, you know.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to have a bit of a chat about it, maybe suggest a couple of things that you could try that could help you.
Yeah, so I think we should start with motivation in general. So I think motivation starts on the back of emotion. like some kind of emotion leads you motivated to do a certain thing. So in our industry, mainly the emotion is like a bit of dissatisfaction with something about you currently. Either, oh, I tried to run around the block and I made it 3 driveways and I was out of breath. Like that would maybe leave you a bit embarrassed, and then you're motivated to address it. Or, oh, I tried to try on a pair of old pants and they were a bit tight, and you're feeling a bit ashamed, and then you would, be motivated to change it. Whereas I think now we're not quite getting that feedback at the moment, because we're all inside. We're not heading out as much. We're not seeing an old friend. We're not, just being the social animals that we are. That now I think a few people are leading to oh, why bother anyway sort of attitude of, if I can't quite give it 100%, well then why even give it anything? So we talk to clients a lot, I guess, and we're quite strong on the anti all or nothing sort of mindset. As it needs to be a constant. It can't just be a all in or all out, and that yo-yo style of exercise and training. But at the moment, I think everyone's finding it particularly tough to do that. So
yeah, I would agree. But just remember, like Ben just touched on motivation. That motivation for everybody, that has not changed.
No, ultimately no. If you really have a good handle on what it is that drives you, it should still drive you now.
Yeah.
So
it's just how we address that.
Yeah, basically.
How we manage that. Like what actions we take.
How that manifests in our day-to-day behaviours is probably what needs adjusting at the moment, not the actual overall motivation.
Exactly. So when people say to us, I'm just not motivated. Well, you are, because you still have that same drive, unless that has changed, which doesn't generally happen overnight. That's generally a bit of a longer process. You still do have that same motivation, but it's just the actions that you're going to take now are going to be a little bit different to what they would be, if we weren't living through this pandemic.
Yeah, so one thing that we have all, I wouldn't say lost completely, because it's not lost totally, but we've sort of lost that sense of almost that like community accountability. So whereas on a Thursday, Karen might come to our family-friendly class and see the gals, Judith and Sally and whatever, and now she doesn't. So it's like, oh, well, I would normally go to chat to them and training would be secondary. Well, no, actually, you don't get to chat to anyone, and it's only about the squats. So, it has, what this current situation is forcing you to do is be so much more internally motivated than driven by that outside, those factors that, I guess, contribute to making it a good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you that have not tried a virtual class, my suggestion is to do so.
Get on them.
Because I just find it so sweet. The social side, everyone kind of checks in with one another, a little bit of banter. The kids normally pop in on the screen. If there's a time that you'd like to do a virtual class that we're not offering, because we just do that to complement, obviously, your online program, let us know and we'll try and run one at a time that does suit you. But we have had good feedback that makes people feel good.
Yeah, and it's
seeing other people that they would usually see.
That's right. The times we're currently doing them are based on the times that most people are attending. So, most of our crew at the moment, it's the same people, and lunchtimes are working well. But if you know that you'd rather train at 6, I'm happy to get up. Just let us know.
Yeah.
So moving on to, I guess, I was thinking about motivation the other day, and a lot of my personal motivation at the moment is coming after I take the positive action. So normally we'd be motivated by, an emotion like we spoke about before. However, once I've sort of put my foot in the dirt and, started that run or started to train, the more I do it, the better I feel, the more I want to do more of it. That's what I've noticed recently, is that at the end of this session, I'm like, oh, that was great, I want to do that again. And I think maybe that's also as well sort of what I touched on earlier is that, like the highs are high, the lows are low. Like I feel really good after I train, whereas normally I would have to go and pick up William from school or would have a client or whatever, and you wouldn't have the time to sit down and think about, did I feel good after that or not? I just did it. So it's almost like, what do they say, idle hands are the devil's tools or whatever. It's like when you're not actually doing much, if you've got a little bit of a negative mindset towards training at the moment, it's almost like you sit down and you think about it a lot, and it's made worse because of that, rather than I don't really have time to worry about it. I just have to do it because then I've got to go to childcare or I've got to do this or have to go back to work.
Yeah, we were talking about that, saying we'd probably be in a lot, in a worse situation.
Worse headspace,
yeah,
for sure.
If we were not busy. Like we're still busy with work, we've still got lots to do, compared to if, we were laid off, we didn't have a job and we're sitting at home.
Oh my God. Terrible.
Yeah, that would be really hard
Awful,
for us. Yeah. So Ben's just spoken about his motivation. My motivation, believe it or not, is you guys. So I just find like I'm a huge believer in like practice what you preach. And I know that a few of you are struggling at the moment, and that makes me want to be better. Like want to show you that, you can do it, because I know all of you can, and you've all done an amazing job so far. Like Ben was saying, 7 weeks in, that's pretty amazing that you guys are still at it. So yeah, that's what kind of gets me out. Like I'm not doing the same things, but still every day I make an effort to move. And like Ben was saying, I feel exactly the same. After I do it, I always feel so much better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think it's like that motivation coming after an action. It's like, it's that internal self, like accomplishment of, I did not want to do that, I did it. Like you almost, like you think more of yourself because of your ability to take out that action. And we see that a lot, I guess, in our normal classes anyway. Like, people overcoming a fear of having weight on their back, or a fear of the air bikes, or like pushing to exhaustion, or like a point of fatigue that they wouldn't normally go to. Like I wasn't able to do a block run and now I can. And then it's almost like that sparks in.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love that.
The sparks in the eyes of, well, I wonder what else I can do.
Yeah.
So that snowball effect of, just doing more and more and more, that comes after you take that initial step.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting, for the iron to be hot, like what's that saying where it's like you make the iron hot by striking? Like you take the first step and everything happens after that. So I think that's really important at the moment, is just that, like if you can get yourself to tie up your shoes, start that first set, like you'll just do more and more and more. But that initial step is quite hard at the moment, for sure. And I'm with you 100% of the way there, because training at home is tough.
Yeah, Ben does not enjoy it at all.
No, I'm quite outspoken in my dislike for, like, however, if I had to, I would do it.
Yeah.
It's just that I will look for other things to do. And we've seen that with our guys as well, is how many of them are running now?
Oh, so many. Yeah,
and it's combining that, let's get outside because we can't, and just appreciate, like, people who I never thought would ever voluntarily go for a 5K run and now sending us pictures of their watches, or they're like, I'm into cycling now. And I'm like, this is like crazy. It's almost through like pure necessity. People are trying things that they would never do, which is fantastic.
And I was about to say, guys, take away a positive from this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's amazing. Like, to put ourselves out there and do something that we would not normally do.
Absolutely. And you can take great confidence from that as well, is, I never thought I'd be able to do that, or I'd be able to stick to that. Well, maybe I can now stick to this. So I think really all we're trying to get across to you guys is that, like, everything you've learned is the same. The goalposts have changed. So everything that we would talk about when you initially came in, and, we just want to make health and fitness a long-term part of our life, and we don't want to go up and down and all in or all out. We were literally just chatting to a client before who doesn't feel like they have the energy to give it as much as they want to give it to see like results. You don't have to go all the way back to zero. You can just drop it. Okay, maybe I can't prioritize it that much at this moment. Maybe I just pull it back and it just sort of bubbles away in the background. It doesn't always have to be such an overwhelming priority that it takes up a lot of time and stress.
I was about to say, guys, exercise should not be consuming your life.
No.
Like, it should complement your lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like we were just saying, we're not doing what we always would do. And that's okay. That's fine. You know, we don't need to be deadlifting 100 kilos, you know. It's okay to go for a walk, to go for a run. Quite often, Ben and I go to the park in the Arvos, and our workout is doing intervals in between playing with the kids.
Grabbing Mia off the hill as she runs towards the playground again.
Yeah, and eats another rock. It's like, but we still get something done, and it still makes us feel good. We're not then going home and belting ourselves up because we didn't do an houred resistance session.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't able to happen that day. Life has changed and we're adapting.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the less you do something, the more you appreciate the times that you get to do it. So what I mean by that is in the start of quarantine, we did a lot of running and we weren't coming into the gym as much, which we're still, I guess, lucky to be able to do, but we were running at the park a lot and we did long intervals, short intervals and all sorts of stuff, and we didn't lift weights at all, really. Like, I reckon we went probably a week and a half, 2 weeks without lifting a weight until that sort of wore off for me personally. I love lifting weights. Like, it's my favorite. Like, I enjoy running too, but not as much as strength training.
I'm just giving him the eye.
What?
After he said he enjoys running.
I like intervals. I don't like doing long running. I can do long running. I do not enjoy it at all. I find it incredibly boring. But, like, if that was the only thing that I could do, it'd be hard. But there is so much variety now with what's available to us. Like, yeah, I mean, YouTube yoga workouts, there's some home stuff, you can run, you can do lots. Like, you should be able to find something.
You guys have a pretty awesome program.
Probably the best I've seen. Don't know who wrote it, but they're pretty good. Like, there really is enough variety out there that if you're struggling, try not to get married to one particular style. Like, it can change. So we ran a lot in the first 2 weeks and now not running as much apart from just playing with the kids, and now we're lifting a lot more weights and really enjoying it. It's sort of like that break off it just, I guess, re-established what I really enjoyed about it. So there's no need to just, oh no, this is what's being assigned, this is what I have to do.
I was about to say, guys, you do know in your app as well, if you've looked up the workout for the day and you're, for example, it's upper body, all right, and you're just not feeling it, all you want to do is do a leg workout. I
just don't want to do those seat presses.
Yeah. Just do not want to lift a weight above your head. You know you can see the future days. So
swap them around.
Swap them around, for goodness sake. It's fine. That's normal.
Or if you don't know how to look, see the future workouts, just message us and ask.
Yeah, let us know.
Hey guys, can't be bothered lifting weights at the moment. Is there like a quick 10-minute park workout I can do?
Yeah.
We are literally just waiting for people to message us. Like, it makes us happy when you guys send through your stuff or your food or your this or any kind of question. Like, we love it. We're like very social people and we've missed it a lot.
Yeah, we have. And
more than we thought.
Definitely. Yeah. 100%.
I was like, I can't wait to not speak to any of these guys. And like a minute in, I'm like, God, I miss everyone.
I know, a bit sad. But yeah, if you do, guys, now is a perfect time for us to work on something maybe we've been putting off. So if there is something, message us that specific goal, maybe. You know, if you want to chat nutrition, let's start a food diary. Perfect time to do it.
Oh, there's no better time because we're not eating out all the time.
So good.
You have incredible control over what you are currently eating.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
like I've got,
Makes me so
I know,
happy.
like I'm physically feeling fantastic because of that. I reckon, like, we're just sitting down and, like, I mean, obviously we may be slightly different because we nerd out about that stuff a lot,
We
but
do. We talk about food a lot.
but it's what, you know, I guess it's what we enjoy, and like it's something that we've taken, I guess, great pleasure out of is, oh, you know, let's train now and then have this, and let's, you know, it's something that we both really appreciate. So nutrition, like, this is the perfect time to I guess sit down and map out a bit of a plan, because it really, I mean, if you've heard our nutrition podcast, and we've got a pretty good one in the bank as well, like, it really is a lot simpler than lots of people will have you believe.
Yeah, I agree. And I did a post the other day, actually. So, like, food's such a huge part of our lives. But I've noticed, being in ISO and having William around all the time, it's just so beautiful to see. It's a huge part of his life as well.
He tried a raspberry last night.
He did try a raspberry
He
last night.
never tries anything. It's like pulling teeth.
But I was just thinking, like, we walk to the shops every single day to pick up our fresh food. So
Watermelon.
like, yeah, our fruit and whatever veggies we would like for the day.
That's on purpose as well, because we want to get our steps up.
Yeah, so that's we do that daily, to get out of the house. And not once has William ever complained about walking.
No. He's
Not
the
once,
Energizer Bunny, though.
that's just what we do. We walk
Yeah.
to the shops and we get our fresh fruit.
Mm.
And then we sit around the table and, like, we chat about what we want for dinner, because obviously we're home. We can make things that take a little bit longer. And, like, he really gets involved
Yeah.
with some meal ideas, which, again, is, like, it's so nice.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like, you know, it hits 3 o'clock. Mum, are we going to the park? It's like, oh, yeah, we are. Like, you know, it's just a part of our life. And I think you guys, if you actually sat back and did the same thing and had a bit of a listen to your kids, or, you know, just think about what you're doing personally, you'd go, wow, like, that's just what I do now. Like, I have cemented some really healthy lifestyle habits.
Yeah, absolutely. Give your Instagram a bit of a plug as well. What is it? At the Danny BD
stop it.
Fit. Yeah. Quality content coming out of
Whatever.
there. I've been hassling her to post more, and she's like, I've done my one this week. And I was like, Jesus.
Ben
Honestly.
Ben loves the socials, but he likes attention. So we're two different characters.
Yeah, I'm an introvert.
Stop it.
It's true though, but yeah, like, I think we get so caught up in the day to day, and I guess no one on the news is really then it's hard to find some positivity out of Peter Hitchens' National 9 News. You know, it's flat, and this many people have died in New York.
What are you talking about? They've had a few
At the end, when they're
news
like,
things about
and
dogs.
look at this puppy, I'm like, gee, like,
The dog
trying to-
ate an engagement ring, and the other
Yeah.
dog ate a fork.
That's not happy stuff. Like, that's just, my God, they're running out of COVID material. But it's like, I guess what we want you to remember is that this isn't permanent. Yeah, as we speak now, this is Monday the 4th, so this will likely come out tomorrow, and then we're waiting on an announcement on Friday. But
I'm so excited, guys.
fingers crossed that we may be able to do group sessions in the park next week, and all of a sudden that
Who knows?
that's-
PTs in the
yeah,
gym.
that
maybe.
social, like, accountability, that's back. And, you know, maybe in 12 months we look back, and I guess you want to kind of think like, oh, not only like some self-reflection of how did I handle that, where did I struggle, where did I excel, because that will likely be like, that will tell you a lot about what you normally do. I think, like, the things that we normally rely on, and I say the social one, like, that's something I didn't expect I'd miss as much, so it's something I won't take for granted again. You know, often I'll be like,
He's
"Ooh,
not
I'd love
taking
a
you
quiet
guys for
week."
granted.
No,
There
but
you
it's
go,
like,
guys.
often at the end of on a Friday night, I say to Dan, I'm like, I just can't wait to do anything this weekend. You know, like, we've just had a big week and we just want to have a bit of a chill. I'm like, I'll probably break this promise, but I will never say that again. I'll be like, can't wait to see everyone on Monday again, and hopefully the footy's back and we can all laugh at my depression about the Saints again. But it's just,
I was waiting for the footy to somehow sneak into this.
well, just waiting on good news with the footy. It's just been bad.
That's probably the biggest issue, guys.
No
with his fluctuating moods.
Oh, no footy. I don't even have the weekly lows. I can't even say weekly highs and lows because it's mainly weekly lows of watching the footy. But it's things that have been taken away that I guess you truly appreciate what they like bring to your normal life. And I'm not talking about footy, but it's
he's talking about me and the kids, guys.
Basically, it's stuff that you would normally do where you don't think about other stuff for 2.5 hours. I guess is what I'm saying, is that's the escape I really enjoy. And for a lot of people, that's the hour they spend with us. It's that I'm not worried about work. We're talking about bloody maths or whatever it is. It's stuff where I'm positively influencing my health, and I'm not being negatively influenced by the general stress of day-to-day life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
All
I just
right,
think that is something that we will all appreciate when we get back together, hopefully next week, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully some good news on Friday. But one thing I just want to say before we go is some people have mentioned that they're feeling like a bit of guilt, like they're letting us down. And I want you all to know that none of you have let us down at all. And we are extremely proud of what you guys have been able to do.
Yeah,
Given the situation, you guys have been so consistent, and that's really hard.
Oh, it's made us feel incredibly good, and proud of you guys to see how diligent and consistent all of you have been with the home workouts so far. And
guys, when you miss one, that's okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. And life is stressful enough that you don't need to feel like we'd be disappointed.
No, we want this to be that positive.
Yeah, so our existence as a business is to help, not to add to struggles that you guys are going through.
We don't want to be an added stress.
We purely exist to help you guys get through with the other stuff. So just know that I've felt bad, I've had a bad week and I did 1 or 0. We would rather you voice that rather than think something that isn't true, that there goes what's his name again, hasn't done another workout, it's just not how we think ever. So please don't think that.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you in the gym soon.
And if anyone has any questions about motivation that relates, I guess, to their specific lifestyle or anything that they're going through, just message us whenever you get the chance, guys. And hopefully we'll all be chatting about it in person soon.
Yeah, as we said, we love a message.
Basically.
We're waiting for you.
It's like a little ding, who is it?
All right, guys. Chat to you soon.
Have a good week.
Bye.